mixtape IPA, 7.5%. It's a nice beer. I'll admit, I drank it about 3 weeks ago, so I'm drinking something else. Still a nice beer, but that one was unique. I guess they called it mixtape IPA because just about every mouthful you got a slightly different flavour or nuance of a flavour that you didn't quite get before. Really interesting beer. Loved it. Done by Garage Project. But I'm more interested in the writing on the actual tape. Unconditional love. It's an interesting concept, isn't it? What exactly does it mean? For those of you who don't believe in any sort of concept of God, and that's fine by me, personally I believe that you're meant to believe that in this life. But for those that do, there are certain normal Christians, shall we say, that believe in that concept, but they don't quite get it right. Because I think there is a God, but he's nothing like what the Christians want you to believe he is. He's totally different from that. He's going to surprise everybody. The Apostle Paul, who is unique, who was given, shall we say, the real message, over and over again in his writings you see the constant theme of universalism, which is the idea that ultimately we will all be united with him, and whatever faults we have currently will no longer be there, will no longer bother us, be an issue for us. The interesting thing is that when Jesus first came to this earth, the very ones he had an issue with were the religious, those that claimed to represent God, which at the time were the Jews. And the Jews knew their Bible backwards, the Old Testament primarily, or the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Old Testament. They knew it so well you could drive a nail through it, pick a page and they'd tell you the word it went through. But he never had an issue with their knowledge. What he had an issue with was their understanding. Christians today know their Bible backwards. The similarities between Christianity and Judaism are quite stark once you start to have a close look at it. Anyway, the Christians basically present you with 2 different versions of God, and both versions on the surface appear to have some sort of support from the Bible. But there's a third view that most people, and certainly Christians, never seriously consider and would never truly openly look at. And that view is the view known as universalism, primarily taught in the letters of the Apostle Paul, but it's all the way through the Old Testament as well. For he is the Saviour of all men, especially those who believe. Especially those who believe what? That he is the Saviour of all men. And that, my friends, is unconditional love.